Hi folks, Steven here. So this is going to be another recap live stream. Tonight we're going to be talking primarily about the Pokemon Go Swablu Community Day that was yesterday. We'll also be going over a couple of other things in terms that have been going on in the Pokemon world. And stuff like that. So if you have any thoughts on any of that or anything related to the channel or the podcast, please let me know. Let's see. So, first off, as usual for this type of deal, let's see. I've got a presentation. Give me a second. There we go. Alright, so before we get to the actual Go community day, I want to say that obviously there's been a lot of fairy stuff in Pokemon Go lately. Let's see, last weekend they had the Merrill Limited Research, which I actually managed to, I guess, exhaust. I managed to get through that cycle so many times. I earned a lot of experience on the way, which was great. And then earlier this week for the raid day on, I think it's Wednesdays is the raid day, yes, they had Xerneas, which has been kind of a hard Pokemon to find. I think they've just released it recently. There is a reason for that, but I don't want to spoil too much. I actually, on Wednesday, managed to get 2 of these things during the raid. It's always kind of hit or miss, but there were a couple of gyms within range I was able to do remotely, and caught both Xerneas there, got a ton of experience points. I use luck, and I'm also getting a bit of a bonus, a catch bonus, so I got a ton of experience there over the last week. So this was the better of the 2 Xerneas in terms of stats. As you can see, it's got full HP, pretty good defense, and only slightly less good attack. So good stuff there. Alright, but on to Community Day. So let's see. You know, I always like to talk about the weather. So let's see. We go back to April. April 11th, the high was 56, normal of 55. Low was 49, normal of 34. Wind speed 8.2 miles per hour. So yesterday was a bit warmer, although, well, take a look there. We got a high of 61. Normal is 69 for here in Madison. Low is 52, normal is 47, so we were below the normal high, but also above the normal low. Wind speed was 7.5 miles per hour, so not exactly calm out there. There's been worse, but yeah. And by the way, these are of course all in Fahrenheit and English units. And I'll say this for the National Weather Service, but I always like to get some perspective, especially because, yes, this is, you may remember that last year I started trying to do these, going to various places in the Madison area and doing Pokemon Go Community Day there. And I had to stop that because, well, obviously. So I did manage to get 2 of them. One of them was at a mall on the west side of town. Let's see. Which I swear I'm not going to always do malls here. And then in February I did Camp Randall Stadium, a football stadium where the college team, the Badgers play. Let's see. So this time, this video, by the way, not sponsored, but I went to the Hilldale Mall, which is a little closer to the downtown, but not quite all the way there. It's an outdoor mall that you'll see. You can't tell on the right side there. The directory is right next to some dirt over there. But yeah, so I'm glad to be doing this again. And just to clarify, I have gotten both COVID-19 shots. In fact, I got my second shot a little over a month ago. It was not quite enough time between that and last month's Community Day for me to go out somewhere, but this time around I did that. I also did observe all posted notices about masks and stuff like that, so don't worry about any of that. I did play it relatively safe, but I did also want to finally get out and do some stuff again. Alright. So just to tell you a little bit about this, so look in the top left, you may recognize that photo. That's from last fall where I Got my phone upgraded. The Apple Store used to be at a different mall. Now it's here. They have more space, and you can sort of tell it's an outdoor mall for sure. Over on the bottom left, you can see they do a weekly, at least in the spring and summer, and maybe early fall, they do a farmer's market there. It's not the big farmer's market that's downtown at the state capitol. I may get to go down to that at some point, but this is a farmer's market here on the near west side, I guess you could call it. I did pick up a loaf of banana bread if you're curious about any of that. And while this is mostly an upscale retail mall, they do have some more niche stuff on a lower level of the mall there. You can see that picture in the top right where I take our photo with my Nidoran female. Where they've got a variety of smaller vendors down there underneath a grocery store. One of those is Jim's Coins and Stamps. I've been there several times. Back in the 90s, I was into a little bit of a coin collecting numismatist, I forget exactly how it's pronounced, streak there, and I did stop there back in the day as well as once or twice since I moved here. Kind of unfortunately, everything has to be pick-up only, which is probably very hard on a collectibles store. But they still seem to be doing okay, I guess. But that's some of the stuff you'll see there. But most of it is sort of upscale fashion, some sort of various... they have a couple eating establishments and stuff like that, so they're doing relatively okay. Alright, so Community Day... Swablu, so let's talk about that. So, as usual, more Swablu in the wild. Snapshot encounters if you need those. Cotton-winged bird, this is kind of interesting. And 1/4 hatch distance. I do have one regret. I didn't actually incubate any eggs during this time, which would have been a real good idea. So I did miss out on that, kind of unfortunately. And then here's the ticket you can buy. Let's see. So... although the pandemic here in the U.S. at least is getting somewhat better, still the 6-hour and all the other things are like that for this, but did pick this one up. So, let's see. And the store has kind of its usual stuff. There's a community day box. It has a bunch of stuff. Super incubator, by the way, might be a good deal, I suppose, if you need to get through a lot of eggs with that 1/4 hatch distance. I wish I had used it. You don't need to spend any additional in-game currency, though. You could pick up 30 Ultra Balls. Not sure how long that lasts. It is a great deal if you can put up enough room in your inventory. I think there's an off by 1 error in that one, because I know I had 30 spaces exactly left, and it wouldn't let me take it until I had 31. Kind of annoying. Alright, so as usual, we get a little bit of a story that goes around this from Professor Willow. Let's see. Some of the clouds moving rather strangely. I'm sure we can all relate to trying to, we always try to find human beings, especially, I guess, at least to find meaning in random things, and clouds are one of those big ones. We try to see, oh, that cloud looks like a blank, or that, and they're just... But in this case, yes, those weren't actually clouds, and Professor Willow has apparently encountered something there. The tasks themselves, though, are pretty similar to what you usually expect. You have to power up some Pokemon, you have to catch some Swablu, of course, and you have to make some nice throws. 10 of them, interesting. I think that might be a little bit different. I think that might be more nice throws than is usually the case. Not sure. This is one of the few times they've done a 2-level evolution stage thing, similar to Gyarados, I believe, last year. Alright, now we have a regular versus shiny comparison. Swablu, the shiny is sort of a gold-ish color. I'm glad they don't do that for every Pokemon. Not sure I have too much to say. I can't think of a really better color for Swablu. I suppose they could have pure white. I'm not sure if they... I do wonder sometimes if they try to avoid doing the albino route for shinies. But they do, it is a nice color change. Alright. Well, obviously I made progress there. And one of the interesting things, they pulled from a lot of Pokédex entries. I'm pretty sure this is on there. Swablu apparently love to sit on people's heads. They look like fluffy hats. I'm not sure if we've seen that in the anime or stuff like that, but I guess it's something that's in there. And then you get your second set of tasks there. More Swablu, transferring Pokemon, and then because this is like Gyarados, a Pokemon that takes a ton of candy to evolve, it teaches you to use the Pineapple Berries to increase your candy count that you get from Pokemon. So, teaching game mechanics there, which is kind of nice. Let's see. Now we have Stage 3. So, I actually made it pretty quickly through all of this, despite being, a little distracted moving up and down the mall and stuff like that. But you can kind of see the way this one skews. So yeah, Act of Patience. Yeah, this is, like I said, 400 candy to evolve it. But the third set of tasks is 3 curveball throws, Swablu, evolve it, and another 10 transfers. So probably about what you would expect there. Alright, well I did in fact involve a Swablu. I had a one I caught a month or two ago, I think, that had very good stats. I actually had over 200 candy for Swablu, believe it or not. Certainly better than I had for Magikarp, I'm pretty sure. So I wasn't, so far down, even if with that, they give you it looks like there were 3 packs of 100 candy in this one, so as long as you could get at least 100 or so, or had that many to start with, you could get your Swablu evolved into an Altaria. This is a new Pokédex entry for me in the game, of course, and I think it looks really nice. I'm reminded of going back to New Pokemon Snap. There's in one of the cave or volcano equivalent level or whatever it is, there's some Altaria there right at the start. I don't know if that factored into this, but it is a nice Pokemon. Alright, and you get the interesting combination of Dragon Breath and Moonblast, which you get a weather bonus for. I'm not sure exactly, I guess that's for cloudy boost fairy moves or something like that. It's kind of interesting because actually it was fairly overcast. There was some sunlight, a lot of clouds, and eventually you got a little bit of drizzle, and that's, I had already finished everything by then, so that was kind of the point where I headed out. But you can see I caught this last month in Verona, which is a southwest suburb of Madison. And then here's the wrap-up from Professor Willow after all that. Yes, Altaria Song. Another, it's a songbird, I guess you could say. And you truly are an incredible trainer. Well, I won't dispute you, Professor Willow. Not too much. And then, of course, the last step on here is you get these things straight off there. You also get another Altaria with the special move. So altogether, it's probably about what you expect if you did the Gyarados one from, I'm pretty sure it was last year. So that gives you kind of an idea there. One other thing I managed to catch here that was new, it seems like we're seeing more evolved Pokemon in Pokemon Go appearing in the wild. This was a Feraligatr that just happened to show up at the mall. And was there. So, the stats were not actually that good. It has a decent CP, of course, but its actual stats were not that great, kind of unfortunately. But it was something I did not have on my Pokedex that saved me collecting more Totodile candy, I guess. Alright, well, since I finally got to go out to a location again, I kind of wanted to show off some of the stops and gyms in the area. There are a fair number of these. I don't know the exact count. There are at least 2 gyms within the mall area itself, and then a number of Pokestops and stuff like that. So a decently busy area. I would say certainly it was easier to get around than Westtown Mall was last year. First off, on the left we have a stop for the 608 Skyline mural, which, for those who aren't aware, 608 is the area code for South Central and Southwest Wisconsin, including Madison. It's kind of interesting. You may have noticed on the diagram there's a movie theater, an AMC movie theater at the mall. And that actually was originally run by the Sundance Company or whatever it is, but it was called Sundance 608 after the area code. It was like the second thing they built after the ones in the Bay Area, which I know is kind of crazy, to be honest. All right, so let's see. Middle thing on there. This is a neat thing you'll see throughout Madison. I'm sure other cities do it, but I wanted to call it out here. This is a little free library. So yeah, this is a place where you can drop off some books, pick up other people's books, and this is one of them here. It says there's more than one. I'm not sure I saw any other ones, but there's that. And then one of the gyms in there is Pascual's, which is a Mexican restaurant in the mall. There's a couple restaurants, like at least two full-service restaurants in there. There's also a place called the Great Dane, which has some pretty good food as well. But in any event, the gym. Now I try to do what I usually do with the gym, which is to take down the Pokemon in there so I can put mine in there and earn some Pokecoins. That did not work out so well. Someone in the area, someone at the restaurant or whatever, kept refreshing their Pokemon, and they had a Blissey that knew a Fairy move, which is always really tough. So kind of had to give that one worth the reasons I was putting in. And then we had, another Xerneas show up there. Unfortunately, no one really showed up for that raid. I did try and some folks work out, but I've eaten. I can tell you their food's good, though. All right. Overall thought, writing was a little more interesting than last month. You may remember for Snivy Community, I commented that it seems like the writers were just kind of didn't have a lot to say there. I don't know if it was because Snivy's from a newer generation. Or maybe it's not that interesting of an evolution line. Not sure. Now, one thing that was missing here was that you didn't get any Mega Amethyst. I don't remember. I got any for Gyarados when they did the Magikarp Community Day. I don't think you did. I know they gave you Mega Energy for Charizard. I'm almost certain about that one. And that one actually added an extra step to the end of the stuff there. But a little disappointed they didn't give you at least some Mega Energy on that one. And curveballs on airborne Pokemon are really tough. So yeah, the hardest challenge I always find on these is the make 3 great curveball throws, which shows up on pretty much all of these. And I always find it difficult, but it's especially difficult when the Pokemon is in the air. And so let me know if you had similar troubles there. But yeah, overall, I really liked it, and looking forward to, in the future, going to more places around Madison. I certainly intend to get towards State Street and the State Capitol building at some point, other parts of the UW campus, other neighborhoods within Madison, and I may go out to somewhere, some of the surrounding areas like Janesville or Dells or something like that, and some of the more outside areas. We'll see though. Alright, wanted to give you a little bit of an update on the podcast side of things. So the Pokecasters Network, we have some updates here. Here are some of the recent episodes that have come out on various ones. First of all, hey, I just put out an episode, the Pokepress Digest. This is episode 45, discussing music of Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire. That just got published last night, so make sure to check for it in your feed. This is where Ann and I discuss the music of the Game Boy Advance sequel, and so far the most recent game in the Pokemon Pinball series. I'm still holding out hope that they'll maybe ask Zen Studios or something like that to make another Pokemon Pinball. We sort of talk a little bit about that in there, but yeah, we do our usual thing. We talk about the background of the game, pick out some songs, and wrap up with some other stuff. Okay, we also have Not a Scratch. Let's see, Arc 3, Episode 6. So now what? Where do we go? I believe that's a role-playing one of some sort. And then we have Critical Hitmonlee. I believe this is another RPG-based one. A tabletop RPG, I should say. Episode 38, Welcome to the City of the Dead. I believe a couple of these, or maybe both of them, are explicit, so just fair warning there, I suppose. But yeah, those are some of the more recent episodes posted on the shows there, so certainly encourage you to take a listen to that. You didn't think I was going to miss this opportunity here to talk about this after it just released on Friday. All right, let's talk about Katy Perry's Electric. So yes, this is the new song that is part of that Pokemon 25 music series. Remember, they had the Post Malone thing back in February. We had Katy Perry this month. I'm hoping they'll be doing them more frequently than every 3 months, especially since there's supposed to be something coming out like later this year in physical form. In any case, this song was released on Friday on all the stores and also for streaming. It's what I call a stealth Pokemon song. That means there are no overt references in the lyrics or music to Pokemon, even less so than I guess the one before. That doesn't make it a bad Pokemon song, by the way, by any chance. Some of the best stealth Pokemon songs are stealth songs. Songs like "The Power of One" and "Brother, My Brother" have no explicit Pokemon references, but they were written for the series. As far as like the Pokemon subgenre goes, there's some talk about friendship and stuff, but mostly it's about triumph over adversity. You know, it says they want to bring you, or they try to bring you down. If it's want or try, but you got the power now. So it's very much in the same vein as the song like "Make My Day Any Way That I Can" and stuff like that. Not as lyrically dense, but it's definitely following sort of the same path there. And one thing I noticed about it musically is that it has a very bumpy rhythm or bass section. It's kind of how I would describe it. I don't know if that's to tie in with the music video, which we'll talk about in a little bit, or to say, you know, we're on kind of a bumpy road here, or stuff like that. Or maybe even to tie into a certain movie that we're still waiting for. But let's look at the music video. So let's see, it was filmed in Hawaii, which I guess it's the most exotic place you can go from the U.S. without going into another country right now, especially given circumstances. You know, if they wanted to film this in the Caribbean or something like that, that probably wouldn't have worked out so well given the current issues. Now, there's a lighthouse featured in it, which I think is supposed to be sort of a loose reference to Jasmine, the gym leader from Gold and Silver, who helps out Ampharos in the Olivine City lighthouse. But in case you're curious, that is a real lighthouse there. That appears to be the Diamond Head Lighthouse, which is near Honolulu, on that island of Hawaii. Which, you know, it's not really the tallest lighthouse they could have gone to, but I'm guessing it was, like I said, not too far from Honolulu, and also, you know, it looks like they have crane shots. I mean, they theoretically, I suppose, use a helicopter, but that would be a crane would be steadier, easier to control there, and the thing is short enough that they could probably get one out there. Crane or cherry picker or whatever type of equipment they were using to do those shots. As far as the actual content, besides that, there's also interacting with her former self. They have like a de-aged version of Katie who's playing in a farm market, just to tie things back, I guess, or going to a talent show and stuff like that. And her older current self is sort of looking back. And even tries to give her some help and stuff like that with like her wardrobe and stuff like that. Those are some interesting touches, and you know, it's got the. It also, I think, tries to draw a parallel between the musician and journey and the Pokemon journey, which there are some definite similarities here. You got to go from town to town. You got to, you know, show people what you can do and stuff like that. Now, one thing that I think will be really interesting is looking at the chart performance of this song. I did pay a little bit of attention to the Post Malone "Only Wanna Be With You." That charted on the Billboard Top 100 for like 1 week, and then was never kind of heard from again. Because I think what happened is it sold decently well in its opening weekend and sort of cooled off from there. This one, it's hard to say. It's a little early. It did have similar, like on the iTunes sales charts, did have that similar Did very well the first day and sort of leveled off. We'll see where it goes on that end, but I'm fairly certain the music video is doing quite well. Last I saw, it was still on the iTunes Store, the #1 music video. On YouTube, it's approaching 10 million views, which I guess is pretty good there. And overall, I won't say it's like my favorite Pokemon song ever. That does take some time to really decide where it's going to fit in all of that. But I do like it. It sticks with me, especially as I've listened to it more. And interesting to see where this one goes. But yeah, if you have any thoughts on Electric, would love to hear those, and I'll try to work those into an upcoming discussion. Let's see. Someone apparently tried to ask me a question about I don't even know how to answer that question. Their first evolution of Dragonite for level 28? I'm not really sure what that's referring to. Sorry out there to the chat. Not my subject area of expertise. So, but that kind of covers what's been happening recently with the Pokemon franchise. So obviously a lot of stuff in the last few weeks with new Pokemon Snap. If you haven't already, please do go back. Last weekend, speaking of Ann and I, we did a live stream of our discussion of Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. We discussed the music of that last weekend. So certainly no lack of material out there. All right, folks, thanks.